myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the hell it is. How the hell are you, Verbo?
Have you lost track of time?
I've lost track of everything today. I haven't even put the articles up yet. So, yeah, all I want to do is just go back to bed. It's like the fall or winter. We were talking about this pre-show. It's all of a sudden it's 64 degrees here. It's supposed to be at least 20 degrees warmer this time of year. The cats have changed their patterns. All of a sudden I have cats camping out here that shouldn't be camping out here till midwinter. You know, I told you I walked in my office this morning and there were 11 cats in my office in a ball sleeping, and it's like, wait, that's not supposed to happen till like December, January, when it's actually cold out. So, what the hell? I mean, I know you're still at 115 degrees, but here it's like seasons, man. Seasons.
It was like 97 or something here today. It's still so hot. The fan is on. The audio quality is going to be meh. It's just how it has to be. Otherwise, I'm going to die. I'm just going to fall over and die.
And hello, Facebook Fonda and Facebook Karen.
Hello, Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, all day today I was sitting here. It was worse than yesterday. And yesterday I was a space cadet. But today I'm sitting here and I'm like, hours are passing and I got nothing done. And that's not normal. I was up at 3 a.m. on time, but instead of looking at the paper, I was fixing models in iClone so I could get the proper chili stills done one of these days of the new and improved Chille DeCastro, or alpha male model.
Right,
I even figured out how to make him do extreme facial motions. Yeah, well, no, he's a little bit slimmer because I screwed up on that. I used the wrong body. His new modern edition is a little bit skinnier. Just a little. Doesn't have 5 chins, just 2. Yeah. Yeah, 2 chins, not 5.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of practice with the twisted facial expressions, so that's good. Good.
Yeah. Well, once I import Turtle Boy, oh my god, it's going to look creepy. Yeah, Turtle Boy, Karen Reed, and Chili at a bar.
Oh god. It's like a nightmare version of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
With Irish Demon in his demon form tending bar. So yeah, I'll release that story one day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
It's a hard pass.
What? Well, we've got 4 stories for today, and we're going to start like we always do. Notice we're in widescreen format, folks, because I wasn't even in the mood to try to put us in vertical today, even though we are losing about 40 to 50 views by sticking to vertical format. So
I know everybody hates it, but it's the way to get more eyes on the stream. That is what's happening.
Yeah. So let's hit GoFundMe first. GoFundMe, we win! Everybody loses! Again! It was more of the same on Tuesday with our own ongoing expenses campaign taking the day with a $60 take from 2 donations, including $10 from our mysterious benefactor who shall forever remain nameless as she or he torments us from parts unknown. That's it, a $0 take for everybody else. No movement in the market, including from Jose Chille DeCastro, who has yet to announce any sort of GoFundMe in support of his dog, Charlie, who may lose his spleen if DeCastro is truthful about the possible surgery his dog is facing. He did, however, apparently donate to the nearly defunct Too Apree GoFundMe, which will be added to our list tomorrow, as a $25 anonymous donation came in about the same time as DeCastro said he was donating during his live stream. Don't get too excited about that addition. From initial review, Too Apree's GoFundMe wasn't exactly a hive of activity for quite some time. It was put up to help him with bond after his first Butterfly Boy video went up and he faced actual jail time. Everything is done since, except the arrest in July, was part of a bit or planned in advance to avoid actual arrest. He tests the limits, much like in his job interview videos from before his Too Apree character, but knows enough to cut things off before getting arrested. DeCastro spent 90 minutes of his 4-hour live stream last night determining if Apree was just an actor or if he was a serious auditor. After harshly critiquing Apree's real-life encounter with police, he determined that Apree was a little of both, but could come a long way if he embraced DeCastro's cop card and trifold products. The YouTuber ignored one of Apree's most recent videos, featuring the king of auditing, Sean Paul Long Island Audit Riaz, and said that he would continue to obsessively watch Apree's videos in the future. On that note, if you'd like to conspire to sacrifice our spleen to the unholy keeper of the dark old pants, or to force me to keep writing this column each day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. So yeah, Chille doesn't want to do his deposition, so suddenly Charlie is dying and Chille's lost his front teeth again.
Right, right. I don't think the court cares much about either one of those things. You know, board him at the vet for a day, let him get some fluids, rest up. Don't open your mouth all the way.
Yeah. I mean, this Charlie thing coming out, and then he was just so blasé about it. Like, oh yeah, Charlie's dying. And you're like, what? Okay. That's just...
I mean, for Charlie being his only companion, potentially like an emotional support animal, been with him for longer than anybody but his family, and they're kind of compelled to. And you think he'd be a little bit more in tune with the gravitas of what that means for him.
And Chille now has a cat, apparently. He's claiming he has a cat.
Like a feral cat that he like pokes inside? What's that?
I don't know. All I know is he's saying he has a cat, and I'm scared. That's...
Well, at least a cat doesn't put up with a whole bunch of nonsense from a grown man. So, you know, good luck with that, bud.
Right. I mean, seriously. That came out of the blue the other day when he put up that cat, the cop supposedly shooting the cat video, and all of a sudden he's a cat owner, and he loves his kitty. And you're like, uh-huh. First you've ever announced it, dude. So, I don't know.
I feel like maybe he feeds an outside cat or something, pets it like twice a week. Like that tracks for me. That feels right.
Right. Well, again, Chille's deposition was today, supposedly. We'll see if he actually showed for it, because I'm sure if he doesn't show, we'll see another mass of filings tonight or tomorrow. Hi, Gia, and yes, you're mean. Because asking for sanctions because he didn't show up again. Because remember, he was sanctioned.
Right.
He was sanctioned almost $5,000 because he didn't show up to the one. So is he willing to risk that again? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, is he becoming close to untouchable at this point because he has no assets? Like, where's the money going to come from? Can't get blood from
Uh,
a turnip.
he's got money somewhere because he's got all that GoFundMe money. He's got, well, it's currently not coming in for the accounts that we know about, but
True.
he's got to have money coming from somewhere. Now, watching his 4 hours last night, skimming through it, he only had a couple of super chats. Reminder, super chats are on if you want to ever reward us with stuff, but that's a digression and a cheap shot since I saw the opening and took it. But, yeah, Chille he's making money somewhere because he doesn't seem desperate anymore. He was desperate after he came out of jail. He really needed money. And he put up he got $4,000 really quickly, which he says he hasn't
Maybe
touched
as a
yet, but
patron
we'll
now.
see. No, he doesn't
Possibly
have
as a patron
Patreon.
again. No, like the concept Patreon is based on, like a patron. The
Right.
person that funds you so you can go do your thing, and
You mean his sugar
there's
daddy?
strings attached. Sure, yeah, we can call it that. Same idea, different strings.
Yes, his sugar daddy. But let's go on to your second favorite person. Thank you, Dave,
Oh,
for the cheap shot right back at me and the $10 super chat.
and call.
Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, let's go to your second favorite person. Because remember last night when I showed you the scene I described with him and his new desk and that gigantic microphone?
Oh, ooh. Yeah,
Yeah,
good luck,
folks.
buddy.
Craig Hendry. I'll have the links later tonight when I put the news up. Yeah, that's another thing that went by the wayside this morning. I have not gotten out the paper yet, so that's next. And then I get to go to bed
Yeah,
and start all over again.
no, today's show is all a surprise to me.
Ouch, DCW production. Ouch. Do you want to read it bitchily, or should I?
Oh, all the words. DCW Production says, "Oh, a sugar daddy? That's why his teeth are out."
Ouch.
Burn.
Ouch. Well, let's click Craig Hendry first. Craig Hendry claims victory over contempt charges. YouTuber Craig Hendry announced his surprise victory over the prosecution in his contempt of court case for allegedly participating in recording in a courthouse in Greene County, Indiana. Hendry announced his victory on a produced video released to his channel on Monday, in which he debuted his new set, consisting of a small brown table with an overlarge microphone and laptop computer in front of a green screen with a generic blue news background. The YouTuber wore an oversized suit that matched his dated haircut and porn stash in a look that has been described by some as resembling that of former porn star and current offender Ron Jeremy in photos taken in the late 1980s. Hendry's contempt charges stem from his playing of an audio tape that he claimed was secretly recorded by an unrelated individual of his last pretrial hearing over charges of obstruction of a police officer and approaching within 25 feet of a peace officer after receiving instructions to back away. After playing the recording multiple times on his YouTube channel, the prosecutor in the case filed for a contempt hearing against Hendry as he allegedly violated the rules of the court by airing the illegally made recording. Hendry claimed that he was able to force the judge in the case to recuse herself from the contempt hearing as she had ex parte communication with the prosecution about Hendry outside of Hendry's presence. With the judge's recusal, she ordered Hendry and the prosecution to find a new judge and a new venue in a week's time. Upon discussion, Hendry claimed that the prosecutor was willing to drop the contempt charges if Hendry simply acknowledged that he could not record in the courtroom. The charges were dismissed, and Hendry claims that it is his constitutional right to record in the courtroom despite local rules prohibiting it. He said he could not be bothered to know local rules prohibiting recording, and unless he was told in the courtroom, he could freely record in the courtroom due to his First Amendment rights. Hendry is still facing the charges of obstruction of a police officer and approaching within 25 feet of a peace officer after receiving instruction to back away. He recently filed indigent status with the court in the ongoing case. Yeah, that was a surprise. The indigent status.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on there. He's also not making money. His GoFundMe has had, I think it had the $100 donation last month, but he's not
Right.
making money off, unless he's making something we don't know about off of YouTube. But
I
I
mean,
was going
perhaps,
through his file.
but I think it depends on the locality's definition of what indigent means. It might be how much money he's bringing in, it might be housing status, and it might be one of those boilerplate check 'em off forms in order to get a public defender.
See, he says he doesn't want a public defender, though. That's also
But
a weird thing about this.
it might be one of those things where the court's going to go through the motions and he can still at the end deny it, but they still have to go through their motions to make sure that like he's properly represented. Just like they do with a lot of these soft sets, they'll just go forward with what is that called, pro forma, like the stuff that is just going to happen. You know, is
Right.
that same concept? But the stuff is just going to happen because it's just how the court runs, and you can decide that you don't want to participate in that at the end, that you don't want that benefit, but they're not going to deny you the potential of being able to utilize that benefit.
And on screen is what we were trying to describe without describing it. That microphone is just much
Whew.
too big for his face. It's like twice the size of his head. You know, that's
I think it's just like it's
uh,
a matter of like perspectives. Like it's too far forward, close to the camera on the desk. Like if it was closer to him, maybe, or tilted, or I don't know. It's like the perspective is so wrong with all the different elements.
it looks kind of like a Razzie Award. You know.
It does. Yeah, it does.
I mean, but yeah, that's what we're trying to describe. The giant phallic symbol on his desk. Now, I will give him credit. He was previously at a counter where he was trying to run two cameras, but only one the green screen was working on. So whenever he did a
Oh
cross of
yeah.
the, literally it would go from the cool background behind him into a green painted wall, and you're like, huh?
Right.
Well, why?
Right.
You know.
I mean, it's
So
not terrible, but it's not right either. It looks like a comedy sketch situation, you know?
right.
Like it's a
It's
parody. But it's clean looking though. He got it looking snappy, just a little bit funny.
yeah, and that suit's just a well. I said it was oversized, but no, it's too small for him. It's much too small for his body.
Well,
It's
the
just
problem is men's suits, they're not designed for you to be able to lift your elbows. You don't do labor in a suit, right? So the way that he
right,
has his hands so far forward on the desk, it's popping the lining of like not shoulder pads, but shoulders are lined in men's suits, so they're a little bit denser. It's popping all that up in like that back material, whatever, if he has too much material in the back shoulder area, it's popping all of that up, right? So
right,
it's a bad, weird position for him to be in. That's why it looks like a comedy sketch, because like your arms aren't meant to do that in a men's suit. Like elbows up, maybe like 40 degrees is how suits are cut these days.
right. Well, speaking of ill-fated or ill-fitting suits, Chile endorsed somebody last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chile endorsed somebody last night because Robert Kennedy Jr. looks like he's dropping out of the race. So Chille
I saw.
is picking.
Oh,
Yes, but
wonder
with
what
a
is what?
big asterisk. So let's start it. Castro endorses Trump with a catch. Jose Chille DeCastro surprised his fans Tuesday night by endorsing former President Donald Trump with a list of conditions should his favorite, independent candidate Robert Kennedy Jr., drop out of the presidential race and endorse the former president. DeCastro said that he fully supported Robert Kennedy Jr. at this time, but if the rumors were true and Kennedy was dropping out of the presidential race, he would back Donald Trump. He said that he felt that Vice President Harris would not bring about enough of an authoritarian regime to spark the revolution he needed in order for people to rise up and ultimately overthrow the police. In the mind-boggling statement, as he is on record as hating Trump, DeCastro pointed to recent statements by Trump that he thought it should be illegal to question Supreme Court rulings and promises to bring more power to police as the defining point in his possible backing of the former president. DeCastro made it clear that he was not endorsing any of Trump's ideas or policies. However, he was only voting for Trump on the idea that Trump would make things so bad, based on his previous time in office, that DeCastro would be ready to assume a leadership position in the coming revolution against police. The YouTuber has expounded many times on his belief that Americans would soon revolt against the police and that a civil war would break out to take back freedoms from the police state. While he made it clear that he would not fight in a revolution, he would await the end of the fighting in a foreign country, only to return to lead after the fighting was over, as he was apparently too important to the future of humanity to risk his life for the cause. On the same live stream, DeCastro also announced that he had broken his front teeth again and complained loudly that it would be another week before he could get them fixed. DeCastro had been wearing a prosthetic bridge to cover two teeth that were broken years ago. Sometime in jail, he broke a tooth on the opposite side of the flipper, which was not hidden by the prosthetic. DeCastro again didn't detail how he broke the recently fixed tooth, but described being in discomfort as he would have to wait for over a week for a repair. Also on the live stream, DeCastro announced that his dog Charlie was near death due to an issue with his spleen. The YouTuber explained that he didn't stream on Monday as he had been at the vet all day with the animal and had been emotionally distraught as the dog may need his spleen removed. While DeCastro said that Charlie could live without his spleen, he was uncertain if the animal would survive the operation due to his extreme age of 11 years. DeCastro has yet to start a GoFundMe to help with Charlie's treatment. It is uncertain how either development will impact today's scheduled deposition of DeCastro for his lawsuit against Kate Peter, Team Skeptic, Daniel Clement, and Blue Bacon. He had previously been sanctioned for skipping a deposition, and it's unclear how either potential emergency may impact his testimony. This is a developing news story. So yeah, Chille don't want to get deposed today. So suddenly Charlie's sick and his front tooth is out again. So
I love how
we
he
just
wants to usher in a dictatorship, leave the country like a coward, and then expect to be handed some sort of leadership position that would change the course of the country upon return.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's
What?
always said this. He will support
Oh
a
my God.
revolution. He just won't fight in a revolution. He'll just come
Yes,
back to lead.
I would like cowards at the helm of my country. I would like yellow belly, whatever, turncoats, all the things, old timey things you can say. That's who I want in charge as a coward. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get out
Yeah.
of here.
He's not gonna fight for the actual revolution. But he'll be there to lead. So
Right. His family's
because
been here since the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and they've fought in all the
yes.
wars. Get out of here
Yes.
with your like non-transferable entitlement of like
It's
heraldry,
it's
heroic. Get out of here.
it's GI Chille. It's never gonna happen. I mean, Chille and his ways are just, I don't know. Just like he's never going to actually run for a governorship. It's all just a way to make money off of his stupid trifolds and his 5A cop cards that nobody wants.
Right. I mean,
Hey, Frauder Follies.
hello. I mean, he could. The Tiger King ran. I mean, for president or whatever. It doesn't have to be
Governor of
serious.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's what he did. You know, he ran. He had his weird little like long limousine, and I think what like a hot tub on the back and stuff. I mean, you can run. It doesn't mean anything's going to happen except you're going to blow a bunch of money on a weird PR campaign.
Right. Uh, I just wonder what happened. I did at one time tell Blue Bacon that, if you need them, I've got at least 200 questions you can ask Chille at the deposition. And he's like, no, you don't need those. But I was willing. I've got questions. Get Chille under oath, and it's going to be 6 days. We'll probably all need therapy.
Yeah, I don't
Just
think I want to hear those questions, Jim. I don't want to hear the answer.
remember Goonies when they made Chunk, the bad guys made Chunk confess everything? And he just keeps going on and on and on and on. They're just looking at him like he was Charles Manson or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's the old adage? Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Yeah. Especially out of a 12-year-old. Lord.
Yeah, or Chille. There's a lot of questions I don't want the answer to. I don't want that glimpse in. I would like to keep like the vestiges of like foliage in between me and what those thoughts might be. Like I can kind of see through leaves a little bit occasionally, but like that's it. I'm good.
You don't need the rest. You don't need to know about.
No. I think in this world, a little bit of mystery, intrigue, mysticism. I think we're missing that a little bit, and I want to keep my hedge. I want to keep that hedge there.
So you don't need that hooker he supposedly had in Miami who was sleeping and he was going to walk in on to show that he could get a girl, but she told him where to go when he knocked on the door. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's really funny. I think that's really funny, and I wouldn't mind some like body cam of that or something. Like, yeah, I would laugh. But like the intricate inner workings of Chille's mind, I don't need that. I don't need it.
1 + 3 is 4. -8 is 16.
We heard some of it, what his dreams were telling him, and that he had to like consciously take a step aside from what like his prophetic dreams were telling him. It was not quiet, peaceful, or pleasant. So
his Catholic dreams were telling. Remember, he hasn't talked about being Catholic in a long time now.
Right.
So
or
it
Jewish
used to be
ish.
Yeah, or Jewish-ish. Yes.
Yeah.
Jewish descendant. He
whatever. Yeah.
Never claimed the religion. So
no.
But yeah, the old dreams were going to bring about a cleansing or whatever, and you're like, oh, goody, that's not good.
Yeah,
he's an armed little man. Of course, since he's getting out of jail, he has not referred to having his handgun immediately off of camera. Remember, he used to always say that my gun's right here, but never show it. So he'd reach for something. So it was always a strange point he'd bring up.
There's a few reasons why he probably should not maintain firearms, and I think some of them come in the form of restraining orders, maybe?
Yeah, but technically I think the only active one. Well, there's an active one out of Maryland because Colin got that one. That was for real, believe it or not. And I don't know if Blue Bacon's re-upped at the first of the year. But he did have one against Chille.
He's got a lifetime with that lady.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the Blue Bacon one out of Washington, Spokane.
I'm
I don't know
pretty
if that one
sure.
re-upped or not.
I think it's the Oregon lady, maybe. Like he kicked in her door and stuff, and the
Okay.
boyfriend. Pretty sure that
No,
one was a
that was
lifetime.
that was that was Casey, by the way. That was L.A.
Was it
with kicking in
L.A.?
the
Okay, I'm
door.
wrong there. Okay, I just
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was
he's got
Casey,
a
by the way.
handful. Yeah, there's a handful of them that he's got over the years, but I'm pretty sure one of them is a lifetime.
Okay. And we're saying allegedly. We're saying it allegedly because he's
Yeah,
gone after
I
Blue
mean,
Bacon
yeah.
for worse.
It's true. I think all of those. I think those are in some of Blue Bacon's documents. So if anybody remembers offhand where those are referenced, we can reference those to fact check that.
Right. We've got one thing left today, and that is we recently tried to expand into the Jeremy Dewitte field. Why? Because somebody requested it. And let's see, I think I finally gave up last night. We've been getting snide comments from creators. We also had some of their fans in my YouTube last night just making weird issues. So I addressed some things in this following editorial presented by us on behalf of us, meaning me,
Okay.
since Verbo is running for the hills.
Well,
Open
that's
letter
not.
to the Jeremy Dewitte community. Good afternoon and welcome to the Auditing Insanity newscast brought to you by Really Cool News. Really Cool News has been around as a daily publication since 2022 on a website that's been around since 2001. Our site has had a lot of themes over the past 23 years and probably will have a lot of themes in the next 23 years. But right now we provide daily recaps and summaries of news stories for our readers who would like to have a digest format as they may not have time to research or sit down and watch extended videos. The motto around here is we watch it so you don't have to. That's what draws our readers to the website, and more recently, that's what draws our readers to the audio versions of our news stories on YouTube. Recently, we were asked by a reader to expand our coverage into the wacky world of Jeremy Dewitte. With barely any mainstream news coverage and a handful of court documents we can get our hands on, the recaps are usually a collection of what the reporters on his various trials are saying each day. In our articles, we actively credit that reporting to where we've gotten it from. We provide linkbacks to the sources where possible. We make the documents open to anyone who wants them on the website, and we openly encourage our fans to go to the source for more information as we're just a digest or 2 to 3 minute recap audio of the stories. We're absolutely not here to make waves, claim things we're not, or belittle or degrade your community. While there is some overlap between our established community and yours, and the YouTube algorithm seems to put us out there quite a bit these days, we cannot compete or impact the number of viewers that you're getting or be a threat to the businesses you've established on your YouTube channels devoted to Jeremy Dewitte. We've heard from you. Not in the way that we'd like to as a channel that is nearly fully transparent, providing quite a few ways to contact us past just funny comments on our YouTube videos. If you're absolutely upset about the recaps, we have email, jamescanine@gmail.com. We're available on Discord for a quick voice or video chat. We're here to work things through with you to find some sort of resolution. But gatekeeping? Really? Screaming, don't trust the news unless I give it to you? Finding a threat and recaps that do maybe 60 total views before they're shuffled off into the YouTube ether? Getting upset at the fact that there's someone else out there trying to get your reporting in front of folks who maybe will never see what you're doing, and they may just become a customer of your monetized site? Really? Not directly addressing your anger with a person who is apparently pissing you off, letting it grow inside of you until you lash out over something that could really have been worked out in a 20-second phone chat? That's some serious Jeremy Dewitte activity there. For our readers and our listeners, we're taking Jeremy Dewitte out of the rotation until such a time as he gets convicted or does something meaningful. Please like and subscribe to the channels you're going to like and subscribe to. Let their gates remain closed and the keepers stand to protect their assets. Ours will forever remain open. I mean, in the end, it's Jeremy freaking Dewitte, proving once he's not worth the headache. Oh, so there you go. The
Really?
backlash and the. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. There's
Serious
some of these
gatekeeping.
internet personalities. Some of them are lol cows. I would argue that Jeremy DeWitt's kind of a lol cow at this point. They do have communities that are fiercely protective of what essentially is their asset, you know?
Right.
So,
Oh, I can see it. At least three of them have monetized websites, and
yeah.
they're all getting. One of them admitted it yesterday. They're all getting all of their news from one person who is being paid to go to the trial right now, or the current trial, which has been postponed. So they're all getting the same news. They're all sharing the same news, and then we're sharing their news as a recap, which they don't like at all. So we're not going to do it
Okay.
anymore. That's, you know, it's just not worth the hassle. It's not worth waking up to insults at 3 a.m. because this guy's ripping us off. Well, no, I'm saying what you said, linking to your site, sending my folks to your site. I'm literally doing what literally everybody does. That's what sharing's all about. So
Right.
it's not like I'm claiming without attribution, you know. We literally start every article with this person said this person said that. Go here. You've got the links over on the website straight back to their videos, so you can go and you can watch for yourself. So,
Right.
literally, it's just one of those things where a lot of it's gatekeeping, and it's just not worth the headache. For right now, Jeremy DeWitte's going to end up in life in prison for something, and it's really not our beat. So let them have their beat back. I really don't care at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to cover it and there's no, recording that's happening in the courtroom, eventually the transcripts will come out, the court documents will come out, and you can do a review on those because those are public
Right,
documents. So, it's not someone else's opinion being parroted. It's in the black and white. So, you
right.
know,
It's just one of those downer notes that you run into from time to time. And for us, the investment in the time it takes to confirm, cross reference, and all that, their stories, it's just not worth it for the return. Jeremy DeWitt stories, we did have one get about 1,000. I think our first one got about 1,000 views, and then they're down to under 100. So
uh,
if no
for the
one's
return,
going to them, then it's really not worth the return.
yeah, yeah, Linux guy. It's not the tax fraud trial. It's not the trial. It's the infringing upon what they view as their own asset.
Right. So for now, we're out. Unless he does something or unless he gets convicted, we're not going to report on the day to day stuff. A lot of it's not, it's just someone's speculation of what's going on in the courtroom anyway. You can't follow up on it because it's the same person, one person going in there, and one
Right.
person is the only witness. None of these guys were there for the most recent reporting that they're doing. They've got the same source. So it's literally
Right.
one person at the courtroom feeding all these people. So
And as
I
we
don't
kind of
know.
learned as a nation, the Depp Heard trial, who is reporting really does color what that info says to you. Uh,
Right.
so if they're being paid to be there, they're also going to get a friendly report back. So, consider the source there as well and whether or not you would consider them to be reliable. And reporters are paid folks, but they also will give a spin typically that would be digestible by the market that they are reporting to.
Right. And on that note, we're out of here.
All right.
So it's another night. I need to get the paper out and then get some sleep. So good night, all. Verbo will be here for your last day tomorrow.
Yep. Last day tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.